What's happening, peeps? Today I want to talk about this one mistake that made me lose 5,000 USD on Shopify, and probably more importantly, made me lose 10 weeks of time. Now, I'm not going to say I wasted the time because I learned stuff from it, but it's definitely set me back 10 weeks and could have easily been avoided. So if you're just getting started in Shopify or you're creating a product right now, you're probably going to want to watch this video so you don't make the same mistake I did and you get to keep your 5,000 USD. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to string you along too much longer. Essentially, the mistake I made was I never tested the product concept on the live market before I went about creating it and buying the stock. So a really fundamental thing and almost like a rookie mistake, but there was a reason why I didn't go about and do that. So if you're thinking this doesn't apply to you because you fit that same boat, you probably want to keep watching just to make sure that it definitely does apply to you. You should probably always test your product concept before you go about creating it. Now, to give you a bit of background, first of all, the product I have is a crossbody phone case. So if you've never heard of them, I mean, I certainly hadn't a couple months ago. It's essentially a phone case with a strap on it that allows you to wear it across your body or as a necklace. Probably more for females than males, but I think there are some male versions and stuff as well. I was predominantly looking at the female market. Now, these are very big in Germany, Switzerland, and I think there's a bit of a presence in the south of the Mediterranean, as well as in LA. There's two big brands that do more premium versions, which are more like a hybrid between a handbag and a phone case. So that was the ultimate goal, really, to move to that level. And what happened was I was living in Tulum at the time. I was wanting to do something on Shopify and, start a product. And I had my list of different products I was researching. I was buying some samples from competitors for stuff. This was one of the things on the list, and I happened to start seeing it as you do around me. So I'd meet people on the beach that were using them, and they told me that they loved it. Everyone seemed to love this concept of a product. If I looked at the actual characteristics of it, it was lightweight, it had a very high margin, it was small, and it was something that would be a repeat purchase. Maybe not instantly, but you would be buying it every year or two. So there was going to be that return customer base. So it was nothing that I was ever fully passionate about. It was just something that I saw as a starter to get something that was a gap in the market, make it work, and then I could go on to do something else if I wanted to. That obviously wasn't how things panned out. The main problem essentially was the market just wasn't there. So even though I had all these good signs, there was competitors. The competitors were running ads as well, which showed me there was a bit of skill in it. So I thought, if they're able to grow to a scale where they can run ads on Google and Facebook, there must be money in it, there must be demand for it. But the problem was all these competitors were in the countries I mentioned before. They weren't in my target market, which was the UK. But I thought I can bring it to the UK and I can educate people on it. And the product has that wow factor that they would buy it and I could make it the thing. And also my background is in media buying. So I was very good at the ad side, and I was willing to spend money on having a good website, having good creatives, and doing all that would make it work, essentially. But the problem was the market wasn't there, the awareness wasn't there. So even if you did all those things, it wasn't going to work, and there was literally no demand at all. People weren't even really adding it to the cart on Facebook, and I spent a couple $100 and then went, right, let me test it on Google to people who have the intent, they already know what the product is, and even then they weren't really adding to the cart. So I thought, you know what? You probably could make this work if you spent a lot of money on influencers and you spent money on brand awareness, like lots of money into the ad campaigns. But was that something that I really wanted to do with a product I wasn't passionate about, I didn't see long term? Essentially, no. So I decided it was better to drop it, cut my losses, not be emotional about it, and go back and what I should have done from the first place and test products. So obviously I've learned for next time that I should test the market, and already that's what I've done. I mean, I wasn't emotional about it at all. I think there was 3 days that was down because I'd spent all this time doing it. Not really the money, more the time side. And then I got back on my feet and ended up creating a test store to test new products like that. And that was in like 3 days that was done. So 10 weeks or 3 days, what would you rather do to prove that something works really? So yeah, let's talk about the actual testing phase. So you want to have MVP, minimum viable product, which basically means the bare bones website, the bare bones creators, and the bare bones, you might not actually, you probably won't even have the product, bare bones example of what your product is, just to make sure that people will actually buy it from you. And once you know that, you can then go about creating something better, creating something that looks nicer, with the idea that, okay, if people buy this basic version, I at least know I can make it better, and it's probably even going to be even more profitable. One way you could have it is you could have the product ready to drop ship, and it could be an existing thing. The other way is you don't even have it. You could get someone to create the design, photoshopped images, whatever, sell it, and then just refund people the money. Once you have a few, you're like, okay, this is something that has a bit of traction. Let me go and now create the product. With that in mind, knowing that when I ran those test ads, people bought it. If I actually create it, they're probably going to buy it. Still a test because it might not be scalable enough, but at least you know there's some purchase intent behind it. Whereas I didn't do any of that, and literally day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, 0 sales. I did it for a week. Nothing. I had 2 add to carts, I think, and one of them looked like a mistake. So that just told me this is not a goer, wrong market. I could pivot and sell it in Germany, but I just wasn't passionate about the product. So what would be the point in spending more money, spending more time in something that inherently wasn't me? I'm not that target market. It's not something that helps the world, and that's the kind of vision I had. So I never should have gone down the path of creating it in the first place. And even if I did, I should have tested it. So yeah, basically what you want to do is just have a very basic website, have a homepage, don't have too much content on it, have 3 products max probably, and get stuff created for those products. So you can either go and look at stuff that already exists in dropshipping. So let's say I want to do the phone case. There's dropshippers that have the phone case. I could have gone on, looked at their listings and taken their images, maybe got a video made up if anyone's got a video. Might not be the actual phone case, but it might just be the concept. Because my product was abstract, it wasn't something that's very well known, I could have just used any old brand's videos, had them mashed up together to educate you on the type of product, then presented you on the website, my one, or at the end of the video, to at least go, okay, I can sell this with my ad copy, with my ads, with my basic website. It's worth me now making it better and creating my own version. And I know it's going to go well. So yeah, I didn't do any of that. Not going to waffle anymore. I've started another brand, and I'm going to be documenting a lot more my process, and also talking about the things that I am knowledgeable about in e-commerce, the mistakes I make, because this is not the first time down the path, and I'm sure the next one's going to be the one that really does well. This was just a little warm up for the start of the year. So if you like this video, if you're getting started and you want to come along the journey with me, I'm going to be doing more stuff as I go through this process of trying to create a e-commerce brand, because my skill set is in the marketing side, and I've been doing this for clients for a long time. So I have a good knowledge base, and there's plenty of stuff I can give educational content around on that perimeter, and then document this process of the stuff that I haven't been successful in yet. But yeah, if you like it, give it a like, subscribe, and we're going to get some more content, and I'm going to get this channel back to being weekly. Obviously, I was working on this old brand that's failed, and that's what took me 10 weeks of time, because I was back in the UK and I didn't want to make videos there. So yeah, this is going to get a lot more lively. That's enough from me. I hope you like it, and I will see you in another one soon.